welcome to Future Talk yet again, and my name is Sofia Dube. Today I brought you two excellent guests. Yes, they are students, law students, and today we'll be talking about international dating. And can you guys introduce yourselves?
Hi guys, so I'm Shumirai Mabasa.
Hi, I'm Vuyisile Ndlovu.
So today we'll be talking about international dating, like I said. And isn't it we're students and we are here in South Africa and we are international students?
Yeah.
And we are actually we're a mixed society here at university. I mean, there are other people from other countries and also there are South Africans. So I actually thought of this topic and be like, at this age, like what they say to me when I left home, they're like, you're in university now, so be scouting, be looking, and I'm like, really? But anyway, yeah. So I wanted to know, what do you really think about international dating and this whole society that we're in? Should we please start?
Okay, cool. So I am, like she said, I'm Zimbabwean and I come from a Shona family. And so looking at my background and looking at how I grew up, it has always been grilled to me that you should date a Shona guy because there aren't so many problems that you guys will face and whatever. And I actually realized that it's the opinion that I have at this point. It gets worse when I actually do come to a foreign country where I'm thinking, you know what, let me just date a Zimbabwean because it's easier. We are basically in the same economical situation. We understand each other. We have more or less the same background. So for me, I would rather date a person that can understand me. And I feel like the best person that can understand me as a person that we have the similar background and everything. So yeah, I would rather date a Zimbabwean. That's just my view.
Your view?
Well, I'm a bit conflicted on this one because first of all, we live in a global village, right? So we don't have limits to anywhere in the world. If your finances allow you and all the circumstances allow you, can be anywhere in the world. So you can, that way you end up meeting different people from different cultures. After all, we are here in South Africa right now. We are from Zimbabwe. I'm also from Zimbabwe. And we met here in South Africa. There are other students from other countries as well. And different cultures, even within South Africa, different cultures, right? Different races, even, So that aspect of being in a global village and the society in which we live in sort of opens up, a different world for us to experience, So you get to meet different people, learn new languages. So that's a plus. And because of the world we live in, I don't think, it would be proper, it would be okay rather for anyone to date, for a person to date anyone from another culture, right? Though I also still have certain reservations as well because I'm Ndebele, right? And one aspect of understanding, one aspect of being in a relationship with someone is through communication, right? Communication is very key. And how do we communicate? The use of language. Language plays a very critical role in any relationship. Therefore, language is influenced by culture. And at times it does get difficult for someone to express themselves in a certain way without using their mother tongue. Therefore, as a Ndebele guy, I have the advantage of saying, okay, I'm in South Africa, I speak Ndebele from Zimbabwe, but if I was to date a South African, I'll probably date someone who's closely linked to my culture or language. So they'll probably be a Nguni person, either they are Zulu, Xhosa, Swati, or Ndebele, the South African Ndebele, right? Because at least even though they are different things, but they are similar cultures, you know. So, well, there's a whole aspect to it, but in brief, that's what I can say.
So I actually wanted to say something. You know, I remember I think I was talking to you, where we were saying that, you know, when Zimbabwean guys come to South Africa and they see these beautiful women, South African, you guys, you don't even look at us.
Nope.
Like,
They don't.
like, and for us Zimbabwean women, we normally prefer dating our kind. It is very rare for us to actually date. But when it comes to our guys, wow.
Well, with this thing of dating, I mean, you would want to explore something new. I think for us guys, it's just that factor of saying, okay, I just want to explore, you know, different people from different backgrounds.
But when you marry, what's your plan?
That's where I'm getting to. It's different now when we talk about marriage.
Oh, wow.
You see, because there are a whole lot of, you see, personally, in terms of culture and stuff, and even nationality, as it were, there are certain things that just click if you are with someone from where you come from. You know? There are certain unsaid things that you agree on a similar level basis. You know, so if it's just it depends on where you're taking it. If it's just dating for casual dating, then please, you're free to explore. However, I mean, we are young, guys.
No, I never
Some
said
of us, yes, at this stage, they are already looking at marriage, right? Which is fine. Some of us are just dating for the sake of companionship and just dating for the sake of it. I mean, we are young, so it depends on what your goal is, right? So if you're already looking for marriage, rather look for someone whom you will click with and settle down with. And if that means it can't be, like you said, it can't be someone from outside your culture, you know, then definitely you go that route. But yeah, it's different when it comes to marriage, because marriage means settling down and sitting and spending.
Sorry, so can I pause you on that? So
Yeah.
what he is saying is, so probably us women, we are more focused on the wrong thing, because those guys want to just have fun and just date, and we are more focused on settling down. Are we looking at that direction? Are you actually looking at that direction?
Well,
because you prefer such caliber of men, like you prefer people from home.
well, for me, the first thing is that I will first talk about the things that I see as problems to dating another guy from another culture, and then explain that normally when I date for love, and normally I'm dating for like a long-term relationship where I actually want to settle down with someone. And for me, dating has never been a casual thing. I think maybe when I was 16 probably, but now at this point I just don't want to date for the sake of dating. So the major problems that I see, it's besides the language barrier, there's also the different expectations, the fact that when you marry, you're also marrying into someone else's culture, and because you're brought up differently, that might actually be a problem. And you also have to factor in the families again, because marriage is actually an integration of families, and if you have different cultures now, that can be actually like a very big problem. And then you look at stereotypes, like, you know how everyone says, oh, Ndebeles are like this, Shonas are like this. And so it's a whole thing that you have to think about when you are about to marry someone. And so with me, because I try to avoid problems, I don't want problems. And I think maybe it's my unwillingness to actually try. because I've never dated a guy outside of my own culture, because I just see so many problems. But for me, I would just rather not, and just settle down to the person that I know that we can understand each other. Like you were saying, Vui, there's so many things that I don't have to say. I don't have to say, oh, lobola has to be paid. Imagine now if it was maybe into an interracial relationship now. I have to explain to him what it is, what you have to do when you get there. And there's so many aspects to a marriage that you have to look at. So that is for me.
Sorry, we have skipped to marriage already. But yeah, I do get what you're saying. And for me personally, I look at all those things when I'm actually dating, even though I'm Ndebele, and I look at all those things. Even though you're Ndebele and you share some things with some other Nguni cultures, it is so difficult for you to connect, and Zim is a very different world, guys. And when you come here, it is so different. Like, wow,
Yeah.
no wonder you guys want to explore. No wonder boys want to. But the thing is, it is so different. So kind of dating is really hard, because I think for us Zim women, when not women but young women, when we're dating, we sort of want to
Get married.
Yeah, you're moving into that. You want a
that
long-term
stage, yeah.
relationship.
Exactly.
You want, and also what it comes with, because now if you're just saying you're gonna date for fun, for us as women, that comes with a lot of problems. Now they're looking at you as a woman. Why are you dating for fun? What type of a
Exactly.
woman is this? Now you're being given names.
Okay.
You don't wanna,
Fern, well, yeah, okay, fine. I get what you're saying, but anyway, perhaps in terms of this casual dating and all, I was just saying that, at this age, personally, I am not even thinking about marriage at this point, right? So it comes with a certain sense of, I don't want to call it maturity, I want to call it, what should I call it? But certain sense of, you've reached that standard where you can say, okay, now I'm looking for someone whom I'm going to settle down with. So from my point of view, at this point, I'm not even looking forward to that. But if you are looking
I
at
hope
that
the
point,
viewers hear what they're saying. The guys,
it will come
ladies,
eventually.
do you hear what the guys are saying?
It will come eventually, of course, because marriage comes with a lot of, a lot of maturity. I think that's anyway. It comes with a lot of maturity, a sense of being ready to because it's a lot of a responsibility, which at this point, personally.
Now I understand, guys. But you know why I do get you what you're saying about that. I think it's because us women, especially from Zim, we've been socialized into, you've got this biological time. By this you're supposed to have a child. By this you're supposed to be getting married and all this. I remember when my mom was like, I'm praying for you to have a cool husband. I'm like, already. So yeah, I think it also, since you're saying that, and for me is, even though I'm not looking at the biological time, because hello guys, we're in the 21st century and we're sort of moving away from but what I wanted to ask from you is, if we're looking at international aspect, both of you guys actually, the international aspect, so what do you think of actually not looking at only South Africans but at other nationalities from other countries, yeah? Why wouldn't you prefer dating those people? Why would you actually, let's talk about all those stereotypes of actually dating from other brothers from other countries, other brothers and sisters. Yeah.
Well, for me, again, the major thing will always be culture. So, when you're growing up, you're taught certain things, right? And because you probably wouldn't know this person when you're dating, you just know the person that they bring here. But you don't know who they are at home. You don't know what they've been taught. You don't know what their family is about. And because of that, there is just this fear like people are afraid of things that they don't know. That is the
Exactly.
basic truth.
True.
And because I don't know you on that level, on the cultural level, I have never seen your culture or what you guys do. Yes, you can actually try to learn and explain, but it's different when you've actually lived in that culture and seen exactly what it's like. And because of that, the culture thing, I'm just very, very, I don't know. I cannot, honestly, on my side, I cannot date a person who has another culture. And not because I'm saying their culture is inferior to mine, but it's because of all the problems that I see could happen, potentially happen in the future. That is just me.
You don't like change. Basically.
You don't like change.
Yeah,
I'm saying we should be open-minded. I get your points, and I also have that ideology. But then again, at the same time, I'm not restricted to it, right? Be open-minded, especially. I mean, there's a lot that you can learn from other cultures that you might find, okay, this is quite interesting, and you might even want to start practicing yourself. I've seen people. Okay, we'll keep going back to marriage because
you know what you're saying. Sorry to cut you. You know what you're saying by saying being open-minded, it's easy for guys to say it.
Exactly.
Because you guys, obviously, you're gonna bring this woman to another culture.
To your culture.
But normally, women are going to the guy's culture, going to your culture.
Hence, I'm saying we now live in a global village, right? What if I go to Kenya right now, or I go to the United States and go and live there, and I find a wife there, and I live there, who gets assimilated now? You see? So the whole aspect of being in a global village, I think, yes, fair and well, especially African culture says women are the ones that, but it's unlike back in the day where you actually had to move in with their family in order to, but now you can live wherever you are, right? Obviously you interact with your family and whatever, but you are not always with that family nowadays as used to happen back in the day. So now it gives you a chance to to have your own time if that be the
So
case.
what he's trying to say is we should explore.
Well, I think that you are right on the fact that there are advantages to actually dating another person from another culture. I mean, you have lots to talk about, different food, you try new things, you can learn new cultures, new languages.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yes.
But when it comes to settling down now, that's a totally different situation. Because I was saying that marriage is an integration of two families. And they have their own culture, I have mine. And normally you're saying, yes, you can be assimilated as a man. But normally the truth is women are the ones that are assimilated into the culture of the man. Remember, in as much as I understand that in Africa we do have this patriarchal society where the man is the dominant person in the relationship and the woman you are supposed to submit. And you're supposed to learn their language, their food. So that can be hard on the woman. And that is why, for me, I have reservations about it. Of course, it also depends on the family and how they were brought up, because we cannot just ignore the fact that other people might have certain cultures, but they don't actually follow that culture. Right. If you understand what I mean. Like, they can say, okay, fine, I'm open-minded, like you're saying, let's be open-minded, I'm willing to change. We can actually learn this together. I can teach you, things like that. And that is an advantage in a relationship. But what if you don't meet that type of person, then what happens? Because now it depends on the person now, not just on the culture globally. That's just what I think.
Yeah, of course, when it comes to marriage, that's what I'm saying, that when it comes to marriage, you have to conform, look for someone whom you are going. I mean, marriage is all about sacrifices, so to speak. You have to sacrifice, even in a marriage where people are from the same culture, same culture, but then the families themselves might be different, and you might still face challenges. If we're now talking about marriage, there are always going to be problems in marriages, whether you come from the same culture or not, right? And then also there are going to be good times as well. So I mean, in this world today, true, yes, we are African and we we try as hard as possible to maintain our African cultures. But truth be told, we are highly influenced by Western culture. Our social media platforms, our television, the things that we read. We are studying right now at university. Basically what we study comes from Western cultures, right? So we are largely influenced by Western culture. So we have that part of an understanding, and of which most of us, truth be told, we don't practice our cultures fully. We adopt Western cultures. So, of which we have that basic understanding of Western cultures, you see. Because now even our idea of a marriage is no longer as the Africans, would practice it back in the day. We now sort of take the Western side of it. Even our weddings, they are Western weddings most of the times, and so on and so forth. So, because we have that understanding already, we can then explore and then learn from the other person the other part that, we
Well,
want to learn.
I think
Also, sorry, but it comes with willingness. Are you
Yes.
willing? Are you willing?
and it also goes to your own personal preference. I know we should explore and all that, but it all dials down to the person's personal, and sometimes not even personal. Sometimes it goes with what you heard and what you have learned, and also that goes down to your that also draws the line on your personal preference, and I was talking to someone actually, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't prefer, let's say, for example, Nigerian people, because of what I have heard and what I have seen and all that. So it also goes, and what you said also, fear of the unknown. So yeah, I do understand about that.
Perhaps she spoke about stereotypes, and
Yes.
that's what I think you're also talking about. But then at the end, the stereotypes will always be there. But now, what you are in a relationship with that one person, not with everyone. Fine, when it comes to marriage, fine, families also get involved. But you ultimately you are in a relationship with that one person. So does that mean? It doesn't always mean that because Nigerians or whoever are said to be this and that and that, it doesn't mean that that individual is actually like that.
Okay.
So now it depends on the compatibility between the two people.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, we're closing. So what are your last words about this? I'll start with the lady. Let's honor the lady.
Okay, fine. For me, I think the biggest thing that I got from this talk is that you have to be open-minded and you have to be willing to learn from other people and other cultures. And it's okay if you have certain preferences like I do. I would rather date from my culture. That is my preference. But at the same time, you have to be open-minded. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, definitely. Keep an open mind. Find someone whom you will love, someone whom you'll enjoy spending time with, someone whom you'll enjoy, companionship and do things together. And so basically keep an open mind. Don't be. Yes.
Okay, well, you heard it yourselves, guys. And from me, Sofia Dube, and we'll see you next time.